Canelo, there's a lot of articles and social media news floating around saying that you could potentially be negotiating with Terence Crawford directly for a main fight. Any truth to that?
No, I'm working in other things. Now I'm enjoying my family. I'm not talking about boxing yet.
Yeah.
So maybe in January we're gonna start doing that.
Where do things stand with Turkey? Turkey said he would like to open a line of communication with you. No middlemen, just you and him. And
I never say no to business. So if it is a business for me, I'm open to talk, no matter what.
Anything else for Chula Vista?
No, thank you everybody from Chula Vista. Thank you for your support.
The likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkalash know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
In
here.
camp, training camp in March.
Okay, so
At the beginning of the middle of the February.
A huge moment has just shaken the boxing scene. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are locked in for a showdown at decorated names in the sport today.
What's up, fight fans? Some breaking news. This guy, Julius Julianis, who's an ESPN Knockouts reporter, is reporting that the fight isn't only about to be announced, but the contracts are signed between none other than Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. In Julianis' report, he claims that this fight has been signed, sealed, delivered, and it's going down this September in Las Vegas. We know Canelo was in London for the Ring Magazine Awards with Turki Al-Sheikh, seemingly shaking hands as business partners. And just today, as a few hours ago, Bud Crawford landed in London and was seen with Turki Al-Sheikh this September. It's official. What are your thoughts? This headline is all the details the Ring Magazine put out about 2 hours ago. Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford, the fight is off. Guys, are they just messing with us for real? Because this is 48 hours removed from them reporting the location. First ever stadium fight, Allegiant Stadium. Even though the fight was 7 months away in September, this in everybody's eyes was going on. And then all of a sudden, the Ring Magazine, Turki Al-Sheikh, releases this with no other details. Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford in September is off.
The deal for this blockbuster fight was sealed in January 2025, setting the stage for what many are calling a historic matchup. Stepping into the ring, Canelo Alvarez brings his status as the undisputed super middleweight king, carrying an impressive record of 62 victories, just 2 defeats and 2 draws, 39 of those wins coming by knockout. Across from
Canelo, Crawford, Jake Paul again. Let's try and give a timeline of events. So on Tuesday, Ring Magazine confirmed that Canelo Crawford was on for September 13th, Raiders Stadium. That's what we got on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we start hearing whispers of Jake Paul. It sounded crazy at the time. I did a video on it. I said that's impossible. But then those whispers became louder and louder and louder. On Thursday, Ring Magazine reported that Canelo Crawford was off. Thursday evening, so just after me and G-Man had filmed, we got reports that Jake Paul versus Canelo, or Canelo versus Jake Paul, was very much a real thing and was close to being signed off, and that would have happened on Netflix. About 2 hours later, we got confirmation that Canelo versus Jake Paul is now not a thing and is off, and that Canelo has signed a 4-fight deal with DAZN, and Turkey went on social media talking about he's the lion and don't mess with the lion and things like that, which I thought was quite funny. Canelo versus Crawford is now back on, and that will happen in September. Canelo versus Jake Paul is now off and won't happen for at least another couple of years. Yeah.
In the latest buzz from the boxing world, Jake Paul has taken aim at Canelo Alvarez over his new 4-fight agreement with DAZN. According to Paul, this move effectively shut down talks of their potential matchup. He accused Alvarez of sidestepping dangerous opponents, most notably Terence Crawford, because of mounting public pressure. Paul further claimed that Alvarez has tied himself to DAZN for financial gain, implying the decision was driven more by money than by the pursuit of high-risk, legacy-defining bouts.
You puta.
And this fucking YouTuber. I just fight real fighters.
Time to expose them. So we had a signed contract to fight. Here you can see Canelo's signature and my signature to the right. Claiming he's not fighting YouTubers. Bullshit. Look at the poster. We were announcing Tuesday, February 11th. Claiming he fights real fighters, but he's fighting Crawford, a 135-pound fighter, and running from a real fighter like David Benavidez, you bitch. The truth is you can be bought. You're a money-hungry squirrel chasing your next nut. The truth is these sports-washing shady characters are paying you hundreds of millions of dollars to stop our fight from happening because they couldn't fathom the fact that they can't create a bigger fight than me and you. Al Heyman has made you hundreds of millions of dollars and you turned your back on him for this check. Disloyal. And you were begging to do this fight on pay-per-view. But I have loyalty. Loyalty to Netflix, doing the biggest numbers. And you call me a YouTuber, but you've never had a boxing match as big as mine. Remember you told my team that your daughter came home and asked if you were fighting Jake Paul? She was all excited. You said that was the first time your daughter's ever asked you about a fight. And you're screwing over all your Mexican fans by doing your fights in Saudi. It just shows what type of person you are. And I promise you one thing, Canelo. Any fight that you do this year, mine will be bigger. So go fuck off to your boss, you Ring Magazine employee, you pink and orange bitch. And oh, fix that herpes on your lip, you dirty puta.
During a recent press conference, Canelo Alvarez delivered a firm message to Terence Crawford, making it clear that the super middleweight division is his domain. Alvarez acknowledged Crawford's post. He declared that he's ready to prove once again why he holds the crown at 168 pounds. His words underscored a determination to defend his titles against a highly skilled rival who is moving up in weight to challenge him.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him. Yeah. You know.
Canelo Alvarez, celebrated for his knockout power and strategic versatility, continues to be ranked among the sport's elite pound-for-pound talents. On the other side, Terence Crawford, a champion across 4 different weight classes, enters the matchup with his trademark speed, accuracy, and adapt, with many already calling this showdown one of the most highly awaited boxing spectacles of the year.
Crawford said that he moved up and won, and Canelo moved up and lost.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
I don't think that was a strong point because Canelo Alvarez actually moved up and won. I mean, he moved up a lot of weight classes, but if you want to talk about light heavyweight, he moved up and he beat Kobe. Then he moved up again and he lost to Bivol. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he moves up to 154. He won 115, 113, but it was just an 11-0 Madrimov who didn't really have much of a resume, right? But there's a difference, to be real. I mean, Bivol is a Hall of Fame. Okay, this guy, all-time light heavyweight. It's a bit different. Canelo did knock out Kovalev when he did move up. Okay, and Kovalev is a bigger challenge at light heavyweight than Madrimov at 154 for Terence Crawford. Let's just.
Canelo Alvarez, the naturally larger fighter, has firmly established himself as a dominant presence in the super middleweight division. With a professional record of 62 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, he has consistently shown the ability to thrive against bigger opponents at higher weight classes. His combination of strength, quickness, and veteran experience makes him a dangerous challenge for anyone who steps into the ring. Former champion Shawn Porter has raised questions about whether Terence Crawford can withstand Alvarez's renowned punching power, noting the risks that come with moving up in weight. Porter's comments echo a broader concern shared by many in the boxing community. whether Crawford can handle the physical toll of facing a
Say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's gonna be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's gonna slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean?
Former 4-division champion Mikey Garcia recently weighed in on the highly anticipated Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford showdown at super middleweight. According to Garcia, Alvarez's size and power are likely to be the deciding factors once the two meet in the ring. While he acknowledged Crawford's elite skill set, Garcia stressed that the gap in natural size could present serious problems. He noted that Alvarez has been comfortably competing at 168 pounds for years, whereas Crawford only stepped up to 154 not long ago, where he already faced some difficulties. Garcia admitted he's intrigued by the matchup, but believes the physical disparity will be hard for Crawford to overcome.
I'm a fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Yeah. Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. Yeah. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish. From 140, 147, now 154. That's even great for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154. He can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and you know, at that point, it's more of a big fight, you know, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbeef or Bivol again. Yeah. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving up.
Trainer Joel Diaz voiced strong confidence in Canelo Alvarez ahead of the matchup with Terence Crawford. Although he recognized Crawford's position as the sport's top pound-for-pound fighter, Diaz emphasized that Alvarez brings a rare combination of skills and experience, making him fully prepared for the challenge.
People that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. It's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like, yes man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
Former world champion Demetrius Andrade has shared his perspective on the upcoming clash, noting that while Terence Crawford is a remarkable talent, Canelo Alvarez's size and proven experience at higher weight classes give him the edge. Andrade suggested that Crawford may find it difficult to deal with Alvarez's mix of power and athleticism, especially as he makes the leap to super middleweight. Crawford's most recent outing came at 154 pounds, where he earned a gritty decision win over Israil Madrimov, though he showcased his adaptability at that weight. Moving up again to 168 pounds presents a whole new challenge, one where opponents are not only heavier, but naturally stronger and more seasoned in that division.
So 154 win the belt, that's 3-time super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo, 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Unlike many of his past fights where speed, accuracy, and ring IQ allowed him to control opponents, Terence Crawford now faces a new kind of obstacle in Canelo Alvarez, a fighter whose size and physical strength could diminish those usual advantages. Alvarez's punching power, toughness, and long-standing experience at super middleweight make the task even more demanding, requiring Crawford to adapt his game plan, and uncertainty remains about whether his power and resilience will fully translate into the 168-pound division.
A few weeks ago, you heard what Terence "Bud" Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'll be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him test himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can.
Trainer Robert Garcia has also weighed in on the upcoming showdown, leaning toward Canelo Alvarez as the likely victor. While he hasn't offered a deep technical breakdown, his view reflects the broader sentiment that favors Alvarez. Garcia suggested that if Terence had more to massive financial reward than approving anything further in the ring. In his eyes, still, Garcia acknowledged that Crawford's skill, intelligence, and strength would make him Alvarez's advantages begin to show.
Robert, what's the smart bet on Crawford-Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. And you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision.
Crawford by decision.
No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's going to happen. Canelo's going to beat him. But which one?
No, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over. But I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably going to be 40-1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not going to be close.
No, it's going to be close.
3 weight class?
3-4-1. ¿No crees?
Nah.
It's not going to be that big of a difference. No.
When you pick the knockout? No, when you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just...
who wins straight out?
I think it's going to be maybe 3-1, 4-1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2-1. Maybe 2-1.
I don't think so.
Tell me, Eddie.
So they finally announced Ryu's fight. Gary Russell, what do you think? Not easy fight? No easy fight to this level?
That's just...
It's going to be, finally you guys will be, the first time you're ever going to a Tank fight, right? To work a corner?
We're going to corner a Tank's fight.
Is Tank's the main event?
The upcoming showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence in modern boxing. Alvarez's proven strength and experience at super middleweight will be matched against Crawford's sharp technique, agility, and unbeaten record. Both fans and analysts are eager to see whether Crawford can successfully adjust to the demands of a higher weight class, and how Alvarez responds to facing a challenger of Crawford's caliber.
The greatest. You know what I'm saying? Floyd, it was Floyd. And then it's gonna be Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's on the line with that fight, right? Canelo and Terence is whose era is it? Yeah. Right?
Nah.
I think Canelo had his time.
Yeah, Canelo had his time. Yeah.
Just gonna submit our time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
What makes Bomac such a great trainer?
He can adapt to any style, bro. Like, he can adapt to any style. First of all, DB3, we all got different styles. And he all been making this better in our own style. He got Troy Eisen. Troy Eisen is a different style. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he got Avius Griffin. Avius Griffin is a different style. Of course, y'all know Jamel Herring and Terence Crawford. All different styles. And he make these fighters great. He can adapt to any style. You know what I'm saying?
So, what do you think? Will Canelo's size and punching power prove too much in the later rounds? Or can Crawford's technique and tactical brilliance be enough to pull off the win? Drop your predictions in the comments and join the debate